It's been a roller coaster for me thinking about this game that we're playing tomorrow against the Panthers in Carolina. I've been down, I've been up, I've been down again. Excuse me. And where I am right now, I think I'm a little closer to the down as of the making of this video because look, after we beat the Packers last Tuesday, not I guess it would be 9 days ago now. I was thinking about this game, and where I started was like, well, it's probably not a game we're going to win. It's a good team that we're playing. We're playing in Carolina. The Panthers have won, I think, like 10 straight home games. They were good last year. They're good this year. They do some things really well. They have a good defense. They run the ball. And then I was looking at things, and like they've lost 2 games in a row, including one game where they got embarrassed, and another game where they lost to a team they got no business losing to. Excuse me. Cough just won't go away. I don't know what to blame at this point. But anyway, I was like, okay, that's not great, but you know, as the week goes on, you start thinking about the other side. And the things I was thinking were basically, well, we're getting healthy, more on that later. And, I don't know. Did Carolina just lose 2 games in a row because they just lost 2 games in a row? Or did they lose 2 games in a row because they're not that good and they're starting to fall apart? And I think they're pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, losing to the Lions, I know it was on the road, but that Lions game, that was a bad loss. They got completely outplayed that whole game and almost fluked out the win anyway that they didn't deserve, and they blew it. The Steelers game, obviously that was a very bad situation for the Panthers playing in Pittsburgh on a short rest week, but they got embarrassed in that game, so I'm like, okay, maybe they're not as good. I mean, they're 6-4. When they were 6-2, I was thinking one thing, but we have to lower things a little bit when you get to 6-4. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're not that good. And then I'm thinking we can run the ball on anybody as long as we've got our guys in there, and it looks like we do. Fluker's in there, Carson's in there. So I'm thinking, okay, I can see a path to victory. We run the ball for 200, 250 yards. We did it against everybody else. Why can't we do it against Carolina? I know their defense is good, but I don't see anything there that tells me that, oh, we can run the ball against everyone else, but we can't run the ball against this team. It feels like we can just do it against whoever we need to do it against. So I was thinking about that. I was like, ooh, Doug Baldwin's getting healthy finally. If we have 100% Doug Baldwin, that completely changes our offense. We saw it a little bit against the Green Bay Packers, where he makes a huge difference. Our defense, we're starting to get a pass rush. We're starting to get to the quarterback. Clark obviously doing his thing. Jordan making some plays. We're getting stuff from guys like Shamar Stephen and really just a lot of players that I didn't know if they were going to have an impact this year, having an impact. A guy like Rasheem Green. When I saw Rasheem Green get that sack on Rodgers last week, I don't want to say I made too big a deal out of that one play, but I was like, I thought he was almost going to be a red shirt this year, and he's out there making an impact. So that was good. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I think we can win this game. Carolina, they have problems. They don't have a great big play. They don't. I mean, Cam Newton's having a very good season in terms of his stats. His completion percentage is through the roof, but they don't have great receivers. They don't have anything in that passing game that terrifies me. So I was like, okay, I talked myself into it. I was like, maybe this is the game that breaks Carolina's back and they'll just be out of it after this loss. So I was there, and then, yeah. You guys probably know where I'm going with this. Doug Baldwin did not practice all week with a groin injury this time, so that's different from the knee injury. Questionable. Game time decision. No idea. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Not what I needed to hear. Holy shit. Because if he can't play, then, I love Tyler Lockett, but, he can't do the things that Doug Baldwin does when he's healthy. I like, excuse me, Jesus. Obviously, Ed Dixon has made some plays since he got back from his extended injury stint. but he's not somebody who can go out there and has shown that he can catch 6 or 7 passes in a game for us. I it just changes everything. And that Carolina secondary, they're playing decent football. Obviously, we saw what Pittsburgh did to them, but Pittsburgh, they have their guys. They have AB and Juju, and you're going to tell me that we're going out there with Tyler Lockett and Jaron Brown and um, uh, freaking Moore, David Moore. It changed things significant for me when I heard that, because even if he's out there, it's just not likely he's going to be 100%. We are going to have a limited Doug Baldwin, and we have seen this season that limited Doug Baldwin just doesn't do that much for us. So that upset my optimism a little bit. But I was still like, okay, we can run the ball. And I still say that. I still say we are going to find a way to run the ball. If we pile up 200 rushing yards in the game tomorrow, then I'm going to be proud of that. I'm going to feel good about that. It might not guarantee a win, but if we can run all over them like we did the Rams, then we'll be in it. And from this team, maybe that's all you can ask. So I think we will be in this game because we do enough good things. But I'm worried about the run defense now, too, because now we get KJ Wright out. We thought we were getting him back, but, he came back for a little bit, played pretty good. But now all of a sudden, here we go again. Didn't practice all week, not playing tomorrow. So now I'm looking at that Carolina offense that, they're not putting up the most points in the league, but they have a very, very dynamic rushing attack with McCaffrey and Cam. Those are two guys who are not traditional. They're not like other teams that run the ball really well. They have a, running back who catches a lot of short passes. He's quick, he's agile, he's a very good running back. And then they have a quarterback who runs like a fullback when he wants to. They do a whole bunch of different things that other teams in the NFL cannot do. So we have to prepare for all that. And now I hear, we don't have our second best linebacker. With the problems we already have, it's like, I don't know if we can stop the run, because being straight up, we haven't stopped the run that well lately. We stopped Green Bay's run because they stopped running the ball. They just decided we're not going to give the ball to Aaron Jones anymore. And their offensive line didn't play that well either, but the Chargers ran on us, the Rams ran on us, a couple other teams ran on us. The teams that didn't run the ball on us for the most part, it's because we put the game away kind of early and they never really got a chance to run the ball. I'm a big fan of Poona Ford. I think he changes our run defense significantly, but he can't be in there every play. He can't be in there barely even a third of the plays, really. And when he's not in there, it seems like we have problems up the middle, and the tackling is not as good as we're used to over the last few years. It's just not the same. So can we stop the run? Because, I'm not too worried about the Carolina passing attack. I know it's efficient. I know they do good things, but my understanding is they're not going to have Devin Funchess out there tomorrow either, so they have their own problems to worry about. But if we cannot stop the run, then it could be a tough day. Could be a long day. And I'm not saying that we can't do it, but there's plenty of evidence that leads me to believe that this squad, as currently assembled, is struggling to stop the run. So at this point, I'm a little down on the optimism. I still say that, Carolina might not be as good as their 6-2 start. They might be, they might really be more like the team we've seen the last couple of games. So other than those two guys, we're healthy too. Mike Davis, he got a knee injury, but he's good to go. Fluker's good to go. Bradley McDougall seems 100%. Deion Jordan's going to be out there. It seems like, other than Baldwin and Wright, we are healthy, but that's a big deal. So, really, really hoping that we find a way to get this win, because this might end up being something of a playoff game by the time the end of the season rolls around. It would not be shocking if a playoff spot is determined by who wins this game, because we're both playing for wild cards. Obviously, we play in the same division as two dominant teams. Us, the Rams, them, the Saints. Neither team is going to catch the other. Let's be real. And to me, It's a game that I don't want to say we have to win it, but we are running out of breathing room. And if we lose this game, then 10-6 is the best case scenario, and 10-6 probably gets you in. Probably. And if we have to lose one more game this year, I would much prefer it to be against Kansas City, which means you got to go out there tomorrow and get it done. Um, I need to see us run the ball and stop the run. I hate that kind of shit. I hate that kind of talk about football. That is how the people talked about football in the 90s. I don't think it's typically true, but for this team in this matchup, run the ball, stop the run. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow after the game. Hopefully we pull it off. I'm not going nuts with it. I felt confident we were going to beat Green Bay last week. I did. And it wasn't easy, but we did get it done. This week, All right, peace.